Hello, Zach. We are here with you and your collective at this time. And in today's transmission, we are going to be sharing our perspective on what it means to embody the excellence of consciousness, what it means to devote oneself to living life with a standard of excellence in terms of consciousness, and how one's devotion to embodying consciousness with a high degree of excellence will actually transform the quality of life that you create and experience. What it means to devote oneself to a high degree of excellence, the standard to maintain a high level of consciousness within your awareness at all times, simply comes down to the decision to loving every moment. All you are truly here to do, from the perspective of spirit, is to fall in love with the present moment. You see, what you are actually seeking when you say that you want to experience a better life, when you decide that you have a goal that you want to achieve, when you want to manifest a specific experience, what you are actually seeking is a level of consciousness. This is to say, an emotional state of being. When you achieve the goal that you say that you want to achieve, you manifest the experience that you've been desiring to manifest in your life. You're actually doing this for the purpose of achieving a state of being, experiencing an emotional state within you, because all experience is only taking place within yourself, within your mind and your body, within your awareness. No matter what you experience in the physical domain, your way of experiencing, the how you experience, whether or not this is a positive or negative experience, is based on your level of consciousness, which is inside of your spirit. Therefore, with this in mind, it becomes critically important to make clear in your mind what you're actually seeking. And once again, that what you're actually seeking is nothing more than a state of being. As you become clear on this truth, it becomes very simple, very straightforward. Yes, still challenging, yet very simple and straightforward to manifest a life that you truly love. You see, living a life that you love only comes down to committing to loving life in the moment. Look back at most of your past. As you look back broadly upon your past, what do you see? Do you see mostly a life lived that was full of joy, full of love, full of peace, full of excitement, full of wonder? Or do you look back on a life that, yes, included some of those moments and some of those emotions and experiences? However, do you look back and see far too many experiences or manifestations that were filled with a lower emotional state? Do you look back in your past and say, here's what I would have done differently? And when you look at what you would have done differently, yes, there are different decisions that you would have made. However, look at the root of those decisions. When you look at the root of the decisions that you could have made in the past yet didn't, what you'll find is the decision to follow your authentic truth in every moment. Your authentic truth, your authentic self, which is your higher self, exists at the frequency of love. And so as you commit then to using every moment to practice the choice, this is only a choice, to love what you experience in the moment, you will then make the most appropriate decision and choice in that moment. Your choice, your decision, whatever action that you take in the moment will be influenced by your level of consciousness, which is love, if that is your choice. If you choose to love what is coming up within you that needs to be said and expressed and shared, or something that needs to be done in the moment, instead of repressing it, instead of turning away from it, instead of denying it, if you honor your truth within yourself and you recognize that it is important to honor it is important to express it, if you do that, then you will have used that moment for the highest good, for your highest benefit. And once that moment has passed, it will have become part of your past. And you will look back on that moment and realize that you used that moment from your higher self. You embraced that moment from your higher self. You experienced that moment from your higher self. That is to say, the higher, more aligned emotional state of being of love. To love oneself and to love the moment is to simply honor what the moment provides to you, not to judge it, not to control it, not for it to be something different than what it is in order to justify you to be in a state of love or happiness, but rather to choose the state that you desire to be in regardless of circumstance. This is what self-mastery is, to choose your state of being at will regardless of the circumstance. This is mastery of the self. To consciously embody the state of mind and body, the state of being that you desire to experience. Therefore, this state of being that you desire to experience is not influenced or controlled by what you see around you. It's not influenced by another person. It is completely and totally created by your own authenticity. You will create a life that you absolutely love and look back on your past and say, I lived my full potential. I extracted the most joy out of life that I could have possibly extracted in those moments. And you would have done so only because you chose to experience the moment from the perspective of your authentic self. Once again, the authentic self vibrates at the frequency of love. And so look at how you are interacting with the present moment. Are you interacting with the present moment from a lower state of mind, the ego mind, from fear, from control, guilt, shame, resentment, hopelessness? How are you interacting with now? How are you relating with now? How are you perceiving now? How are you seeing it? How are you feeling about it? What are you feeling about what you hear in the present moment? As you become aware of how you are internally interacting with the present moment, you will become aware of your relationship with yourself. And you will realize that all you are ever experiencing, all you are ever creating, is based on the relationship that you have with yourself. The relationship that you have with yourself will be shown to you by how you relate to the present moment. Do you hate the moment? Then what you are seeing is a part of your unconscious mind that holds on to the conditioning of hate, of dislike, of discord, of pessimism. And therefore, that moment in time, as you are perceiving the moment from that lower level of mind, will be recorded inside of your unconscious mind and become a memory. You will have memorized the thinking and feeling state of being, such as hate in this example, and that will become recorded. It will become a record in your unconscious. And as you move through life, your mind, your ego mind, will reference these records of the past to then create the relationship with now, this new now. And it will reference the past and say, we are going to most likely experience the present moment in the same ways that we have previously. More of that dislike, more of that discord, more of that pessimism. And so you look back on a life lived in this way unconsciously and realize, I was not living life for my higher self. And this is the only reason why I can look back on a life and say, I live with regret. I look back on a past that I regret. Here's what I would have done differently. And yes, this is valuable. This is an important experience for the soul to have. It needs to know what it does not like so it can become more clear on what it does like. This is your moment right now as you listen to this transmission to become aware of how you are being in the moment. It is your state of being. Your state of being is the source from which all of your life experiences are created. It is only your state of being. And so it becomes necessary to learn, to train yourself to simply watch the state of being that is within the body-mind. What are the quality of the thought patterns, the quality of the feeling states and emotions? Do you want to create and experience more of that quality of vibration? If not, and it comes down to your choosing, if you choose to experience something brand new, something that you choose consciously, what do you truly desire? If you are ready to create that in your life, then it simply comes down to raising your standard to a higher degree of excellence. Excellence only in using the present moment for what it was intended. Intended to practice the choice to embody love. To embody love as a way of being is no different than embodying any other emotion. Love is simply an emotion that you're choosing to embody consciously. You see, these negative emotional reactions, these negative unconscious triggers, these lower emotions that you feel are not chosen by you consciously. They are unconscious programs. They are chosen unconsciously. This is why it happens automatically. And this is why you must look back and realize, man, I needed to snap out of it. I was in a trance. I was in a daze. I was in hypnosis. I was letting life go by while I was remaining stuck in a lower frame of mind. This is merely a game of practicing, like you practice getting better at anything else, making the choice to be loving, accepting, and in embrace of what you are living now. This does not mean to become passive and say, yes, I want more negativity if that's what I'm experiencing. That's not what this means. What this is doing is it is creating a new quality of experience that you attract to you, because you see, in fact, the events, the relationships, the patterns that you have attracted into your life are only there because of the underlying state of being that has existed within your unconscious. You simply have become unaware of the fact that you've attracted this set of experiences and patterns because of what you hold within. And so when you begin to use the moment to practice simply being loving, this is it, to practice simply being loving. And yes, it's challenging, but anything is challenging until it becomes easy. Anything is hard until it becomes easy. And so you must approach this practice with the same level of humility. If it's difficult, it's not an indication of your inability to do this. It's merely an indication of the fact that you've practiced the opposite. You've practiced disliking. You've practiced hating, resenting, judging, condemning this moment instead of loving it. It's simply a practice. And as you start to rewire your consciousness in this way, you will start to teach your mind and your body, your nervous system, your unconscious, that it is safe. It is safe to embrace the present moment. It is safe to embrace this impulse welling up within my mind that is needing to be said, needing to be shared, needing to be acted out. It's safe to do that. It's safe to express what is within myself. As you teach yourself that it's safe, you will begin to fall back in love with yourself, back in love with life itself. And therefore, you will create an entirely new life experience. New relationships will enter into your life. New opportunities will present themselves right in front of you in ways that you could have not anticipated. New people, new experiences, new moments of synchronicity, mystical moments. The magic of life will begin to reveal itself to you because you have committed to embodying a state of being that is in alignment with the magic of life. The magic of life begins and ends with your state of being. How are you choosing to use the moment. This is our teaching for your collective here today, and we are grateful for this opportunity to have had this moment to share the wisdom of Atrioun on how we embody love as a way of being and how this way of being creates every life experience that you have ever had. We thank you for this moment, and we look forward to our next moment to share the wisdom of Atrioun. Be well. That was a powerful transmission on the meaning of love and embodying the state of being that you actually want to experience in life. Because when you think about it, that is what you're only ever experiencing. You're only ever experiencing yourself. So I challenge you, notice your state of being. How are you thinking on a regular basis, normal day-to-day moment? How are you thinking? How are you feeling? Just begin to watch. Just begin to watch. And as you watch, you'll become aware that you have the option to change it, to make a new choice. That's all you're really doing at the end of the day, is you're making a new choice of how you want to perceive, how you want to feel, and be patient. Allow your body mind to become used to this. Allow your unconscious mind the opportunity to learn, to receive the new instruction that it is in fact okay and safe to feel this way about life. As your unconscious mind adopts this new way of understanding life and reality, it will begin to support you. It won't stand in conflict to what you truly desire. It will become supportive of what you truly desire consciously. Be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet, and I will see you in the next transmission.